my gosh, it's beautiful. Vintage Marv. É apenas o Manito contra dois jogadores!
Joining me right now, we have Coach Chet. Now, it seems like the team really has a good read on Furia's movement. So what can we expect to see moving on to your map pick on Breeze?
On Breeze, we're just kind of working on our own game in practice because we had some struggles versus Loud. So we're just going to play the things that we would like to do. We're not going to overcomplicate it for Furia because we're not too familiar of how much they play right now. We have like one video of them on Breeze, but I don't want to read too much into it.
Yeah, well, can't wait to see what you all do on map 2. Best of luck.
Welcome back, everyone. NRG versus Furia. Map 1 just was up. NRG just stomped them. I mean, honestly, like, you got to call a spade a spade. That was just excellently done by NRG, and it just genuinely felt like 2 rounds. I mean, it just felt like they just had no ins at all that entire game.
It's not even just that they won 2 rounds, it's that they lost 13 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
So there wasn't even like a round here and there to break up the monotony and make you feel a little bit better about yourself. No, they got obliterated for 40 minutes.
Yeah, Shazam, you were saying we didn't even really get to like see the Yoru even come into play that much.
Yoru on split's a bit unorthodox, and I was hoping to see something exciting, and there was a whole lot of nothing.
Well, you did. You got a lot of good shots from NRG. You know, that was quite exciting. Speaking of, I mean, you honestly could have picked any player from NRG. They have played so well in that entirety of the map. I mean, Ethan was just calling, so he's just vibey. You know, he's just living his life down there. It must be the best job in the world for someone like Ethan, who we know is an excellent player in his own right, but he's just there surrounded, Doug, by just 4 aimers.
I don't know, man. Ethan went negative. Blow the project up. It's over. There's no hope.
It's in shambles.
It's just, it's such a luxury, right? He has got so many tools at his disposal. They were playing with a lot of confidence, and the double duelist comp on attack will always have to lean on winning the attack side. They're going to play aggressively. They're going to play in your face. You've got Marv, who's being Marved. He's getting all of these lurk kills that, again, we talked about at the beginning of the match. Like, he's back to vintage Marv.
Yeah, Furia, they do not have the coordination to play a no sentinel comp against one of the most aggressive lurking controller players in the game. He exposed every hole in their defense, straight up won NRG a number of rounds on attack by just finding a pick on the opposite side of the map and getting a ton of space off of it. Probably would have been a big difference in that game had Furia ran a different comp with a Cypher in it just to even shut that down a little bit, but that was not the case. So, I mean, just brutality for them.
You heard Chet in that interview say, like, they're not reading too much into things with Furia. They were talking about Breeze there, but I think that the same can go for what they were doing here on Split, the double duelist. It really just felt like a team that was just playing what they felt good with.
I mean, NRG have always been a team that were sick on Split, and this was just they just ran this forever. I mean, every team was running this last year. It's just a comp that everybody knows, comfortable as hell, and they have crazy talent, so they just make it, it can't look easier than that.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, 13-2. They win the first 2 pistols, you think, okay, you know, maybe they got a little something going on over here. 13 in a row, Shazam. What do you make of that?
I never get too hopeful from pistols, so they can be a bit of a toss-up, and like as the story showed, I don't know, it's just a stomp. Seems like everyone knew exactly what they needed to do. No backseating needed from Ethan. They know.
Yeah. And now we get ready for Breeze. And this is what we were talking about before, where, like, this is where things get even more hairy here for Furia, because you have now a team that not only has the confidence from a 13-2 slappage on Split, but then they're going to be moving forward here to Breeze, and Demon One's going to enjoy the sun in his face quite a bit, I would say.
He went 7-0 in first kills last time we saw NRG play on Breeze.
Yeah.
He's gonna farm. He's gonna do his thing. I think it almost feels a little like, maybe disingenuous isn't the right word, but to hear Chet go, we had some problems on Breeze, and maybe there were a couple things they needed to adjust and some things they wanted to fix as they continue to play these maps. But the truth is, we just went from a strength of NRG to a strength of NRG. And in a lot of ways, I can only see this getting worse, which is crazy to think about given the score we just saw.
Yeah, the game against Lat last week was close on Breeze, but NRG, they had some very cool looks with the Yoru. They were doing a really nice job trading off of it. And honestly, that game was only close because in the first half, Les was Thanos. I mean, he was just, like, he was insane. He was dropping, like, multi-kills on every single round on the first half. And then when he cooled off just a little bit, it was not really close in the second half, and NRG just swung it all the way back. So, I mean, guys, are we expecting anything different here?
I'm expecting another stomp, to be honest, but I'm more excited about their Breeze. I really like the Yoru pick. Also seeing Ethan, I feel, on a duelist is, you know, just something you don't see every day. So hopefully we see some more creative plays out of them.
Well, because that was the Yoru, right? When he was like, I thought that was such a clever idea because, you know, with the gate crash, with the abilities that you get from that agent, you can kind of play it like a pseudo initiator, if you will. Just info. It's quite an interesting take on that agent there, Doug.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of fun ways to play it. You can play it the way we saw him play it. You can play it with very aggressively, where you've got Demon 1 dashing into a smoke and then a Yoru flash popping right out of it, bounced out of the smoke into the face of what they've got. And that's just, there's a lot to offer here for NRG running the Yoru.
Looks like we're seeing the same thing out of Furia as well. I'm wondering if they took some notes out of NRG's playbook and might know, you know the counters, you really understand the comp, you know what's weak and what's strong for yourself, and
Doug, you're corpsing between.
I have a really hard time when I see things like this happen because, well, we don't have time to talk about it. I'm going to, like, go onto a podcast. The rant will be insane. They're going to pull me off the stage.
We're going to go to one of the many podcasts that exist in Valorant so Doug can have his soapbox about what he's seeing with his eyes. But what we are seeing is a potential 2-0. Can Furia force a map 3? It is going to be a difficult one. But, hey, anything is possible here in VCT Americas. Let's send it over to your casters one more time. It's Vans and Rig.
Thank you, GB. Indeed, I hope that we're going to see a third map, and I hope as well that, Shaz was saying it was going to be a stomp on that second map, but I hope not, because it almost feels after that first map, I haven't had a chance to really warm up my vocal cords. That went by way too quick.
It went fast. NRG played that one as they brought it out in the strat book. I think everything came. They had their work shown. The teacher was happy. And yeah, chat's going to go, let's just do Breeze, make sure we're hitting the shots, and everything's going to be right as rain. I think they have some good momentum coming into this one. But yeah, we are going to get the Yoru matchup coming in.
Yeah.
Can't deny that. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, especially that, the Yoru matchup that we have once again. But at the same time, Havoc switching out here from a K role to a Jet. So in this series, focusing on playing that main duelist full time, and hopefully he had time to warm up at least from the first map, but we could see something closer here on that second map. On this second map, as Furia is now starting on the attack. Lots of noise being made on this attempt of an A-side split. There was a decoy being thrown out here on the attack. WD2D2 cannot really contact it to anything yet. Dash now activated with the door open. Now gets reclosed by Marv, gets caught. And that's the opener that we want to hear from Furia.
That's cool. They use Yoru as kind of a hall pass there. They think it's just the clone walking down, and Marv suffers for it. Pushing back in. The A plant's going to be a bit for A main here, but they are still going to push forward in the site. A big lurk by Khalil to still come in through mid.
Yeah. Big retake play for NRG. NW2D2 is holding one angle from Shrimp. Answered back by Demon 1, but Demon 1, it's going to be harder for him to play the raid boss with only 10 HP remaining. A dash forward to create some space, get some information as he dashes forward. Now pushing together, but there's that late lurk you were talking about coming out from Khalil. Not enough time for NRG to set up. Big pistol round for Furia in the second map.
Back on February 16th, this was a 10-13 in favor of NRG when these two played Breeze. Much different compositions, but still, Furia put up a hell of a fight, and we can see why. These initial strategies to disrupt what NRG had on the defense, and then to understand the heavy mid retake that Khalil was going to commit on Nas were communicating with the squad. All right, into second round. Bulldogs, Guardians, so they can bring True across the distance of Breeze here. And they are just going to go ahead for orb control. Quick wall, allowing that orb control and blocking off mid so they can get back into position.
It's nice to see, too, that as soon as the round was over, Khalil's already starting to talk to his team, so he has some sort of idea of how they want to play this against NRG. A deep playbook. Lots of explanations, though, as to how they want to execute their attack side in the first half of Breeze. They open up B. They get a trade-off, though. It's a full classic pistol save for NRG. NW2D2 is just hiding behind the Viper wall on the attack. Energy is just trying to get a couple of exits if they can. You can definitely see here we're staying tucked in for Furia, not giving a chance for any type of opening until a drone actually does get the spot off onto Crashies. There's that flash on one end, dancing back and forth. That's Conan that's going to get the kill long range there from ladder.
Yep. They should be able to just secure the rest of these, or at least make sure it's tough for him to get to the spike.
Yeah.
They all choose actually to go towards spawn here, so it's going to be easy for Demon 1 and Victor to get out. Now it's just Marv to try and get back through Nest alive, so he can die to the spike.
Maybe one exit here.
Yeah, no, almost.
But smart play there for Furia, right? Rotating back, as you mentioned. They anticipated some sort of a push out towards the elbow, all grouped together, making sure they keep a lot of players alive, because if you're looking at their bonus on the next round, it's actually quite healthy on their side. 2 Guardians, Vandal, Bulldog. Probably get another rifle in if they want to.
And you can even call that a slight read here for Furia, because as they saw 3 members of NRG death pile through mid doors, the length of time it took them to find the majority, they're like, yeah, that's another heavy flank from NRG. We can go spawn to get out of this one. And they were right. So good calls, great read on the macro so far. Even just 2 rounds here, it's nice to have a read on your opponent. But what is this bonus going to bring?
This is where it started to go downhill on split. But at least now for Furia, you're hoping that there's at least some light at the end of the tunnel from the result from that last map. And it starts off well. They have orb control. They have a little bit of a mid lurk here as Khalil's trying to find information on this elbow. Nobody towards tunnel, nobody towards Nest on Energy's side. They're playing pretty passively, except for the aggressive position of Ethan down at bottom mid.
And they gate crash back over to B, where you have this different Viper wall from Marv, splitting half the psych, and a little sketchy here because they see Crashies, and yeah, they play the same drone walk up on Halls.
Try to go for a dash and flash on the other end just to try to bait any type of players that maybe were in position for Energy to go for a trade play. Stalemate. A reset from Furia at the mid round. The pivot towards the B site. But Khalil still hasn't really found too much. I don't really know where the Victor setup is. Victor is watching it here from Arches.
Oh. Yep, they see that.
And they posted 1 player for Furia, though, towards the A halls. So they kept Havoc there to try to go for at least sound information. They hear the recon dart. The rotates coming out from Energy. Open sight now for Furia to move in and to go for a plant.
So much knowledge just off that util, just off the positioning of Havoc, but can they stave off the retake? 2 big frags to start.
Spike planted.
Question answered with what you just asked. So there's that rotate cut. Havoc was able to drop 1 on the pivot towards mid. The last players are ready trying to retake the site on the B site. Just too many players to deal with, though. Ethan in a 1v2. Portal call now in place for Furia. A synchronized double jump. It's almost like I was watching synchronized swimming. Khalil gets the pick. Beautiful bonus round, converting here for Furia.
Okay, so how does NRG, if they want to, start dealing with the Halls pressure? Because it's somewhat free pressure. No, it's not a kill for Furia, but imagine getting a free line of sight down Halls every time. They're forced to shoot the Yoru clone or find you behind it, and then you get positioning of Havoc. Now, what Havoc does with that information is so important. Right? And the rest of the way they attained information that round, the gate crash over towards A. Hey, someone's on far pillar. Well, he's like, well, I got 2 here. 1 just hit me with the shock dart, and there were probably more than just Sova's footsteps. So 3 at A, of course, Furia hits B by just having 1 person over there to get that information at A. So like the change in macro now in Furia's favor here to start off Breeze has been incredible from last game. It seems like they've shaken off that absolutely decimation they suffered on Split just now. And yeah, doing a great job. Just splitting the defensive energy and then being able to work the map off of that info.
NRG didn't really have a chance to play aggressively yet. Now losing against Furia's bonus round, they have to go for another eco. And I think the play now is, you're mentioning Hall Pass. Always open right now for Furia to take over. Maybe that's going to be a call for, okay, let's just pop down that area. Who better than on defense, of course, on top of that being Demon 1 later on here once we actually have more credits. But as I say that, you see Marv, he spent that money on that Outlaw to drop it for Demon 1 to go for that raid boss. And where is he positioning that? For mid control, actually, from tunnels to start things off.
What's our wall? I don't think they didn't put it up. Yeah, they'll probably just put it up towards wall at B. Demon 1 with the help of Crashies just above here. Quickly to play. I don't even think they saw that trip go up. We just see it as observers. And it is going to be a hit.
There were definitely pings on the other side, though, for Furia down towards the elbow, so they did anticipate some sort of a push coming out. And Demon 1 connects. First headshot, but NW0 was there to trade it right back. Not really entering inside the site yet. Throwing at least a flash, trying to keep those players out there. NRG is playing behind the line of the Viper wall, as you saw on the B site on his radar. And Furia, they understand here, a lower buy, playing around the Outlaw is probably a stack. So they read perfectly here in the mid round.
And they did the math quick, right? You said stack, they're picking up the Outlaw again. Let's go the other way. All the way to A. And yeah, they're gonna have a pretty good hold here as long as they don't give up any angles to the Outlaw. It should be all right.
Yeah. But at least by giving all that space back for NRG to take, that's an upgrade to a Phantom on top of that. So you have a lot of util on the defense. You have an Outlaw and a Phantom. At least some of that lurk, some of that flank will get discovered if this trip gets broken. And finally, as Victor was trying to find a timing, breaks that trip. It's a double flank on that side. A pinch on the other end from Spawn from the other two players of NRG.
Good ping, good ping.
Fortunately, the Outlaw hits 140 onto MW0. Ethan trying to find that kill for an easy body shot. The jump up here, getting caught, and Oswar is able to save his teammate. Also gets a second one on Victor. So that 10 HP remaining for MW0 will potentially be a rifle that he could save on the pulse plant. Long range battle, there's 1 and 2 from Crashies. They make it very, very pricey now for Furia's conversion on that 4th round.
Yeah, a little bit of money to trade around, but you'd love to come away with those weapons still. A nice job by Furia identifying where the site was going to be hit from, especially after they got pinged. When that ping went off, you saw Furia scatter and take instant repositions, so they could not be hit by any following util. And another quick one here. Furia seems to be very comfortable, not worried about the low buys of NRG, but they have to be worried about the rifles, the sniper rifles that are coming out. An Outlaw last round, an Operator this round.
And support too, a TP4. Doesn't even matter if you have a dimensional drift on the attack. Hunter's Fury to come out too, trying to land some shots. Demon 1 finally falls, but they were surprised by the off to start. All of Furia looking to potentially commit towards the ace slam, but the Alendron will spot a few.
And possibly heading back, if this can be cleared all the way on your side by MW0. 10 HP, though, is a pretty tough lurk to make count, but you can see the spike already backpedaling as they're going to keep a little bit of noise and knowledge over towards A here in the form of Khalil.
Crashies gonna get a tag.
Khalil can get the ult out if he can just sneak out and throw a hat on somebody if they really want to.
That would be a great call here. But he has to play the perfect timing for that all towards A main. There's that cage to throw that hat. Marv is spraying it.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's a high risk. We'll find out if it's going to be a high reward because those two players, Conan and NW0, are quite low here. They have a Hunter's Fury to work with for the post plant. But Noswer still keeping that on his back. That spike, that is. Finally gives it away. Hunter's Fury on the attack to try to clear space instead. A 1-for-1 on the anchor towards B. With 26 seconds left, there's 2 players flanking from NRG. Furia has no choice but to work inside this B site. Victor trying to anchor it up. Spike is now down as he gets the kill onto Conan. Noswer now running inside. Head-to-head, toe-to-toe, gets that pick.
I have the spike.
12 seconds left. The ADS out from window. Easy kill on the flank from Marv in the end.
And they find it. It took 4 rounds. Say 5 as they pick this one up. But it was a bit of a hold. Big play by Crashies there. He goes down to either one of them right away, and they're planting with a setup, but it is prevented. NRG able to make that round work. Even with the Operator idea shut down here at A, they had to recall on the map, or not recall, but move around on the map, reposition, and figure out where this was going to go. So a big one by Victor, I should say, not Crashies there, as he held down the site. All right.
Might do something similar.
Yeah, Demon 1 Blade Storm. Gonna go forward just like he's got the op in hand. He's ready to hit some headshots here. We're waiting close with that dash on, so no. Playing a little safer without as much util help. A push around the map. Fury is not ready to move at this point. Oh, that was close.
In the chest and then a headshot. Conan really wanted to fight that one, and he tried to go for a 3-2-1 swing for a triple pleat down towards Shops. But early advantage for NRG. Furia trying to temple somewhere, making a lot of noise here towards this A side. And now finally they pivot back. There was some elbow control being done here by Khalil, but they still have no information on middle nor B site for the attack side. Will be difficult here, but thankfully they have Noswer's recon.
See, shock darts are up. Should be able to hit any of these traps, but they're placed just off to the left of ladder there for the entrance of the site. Pings are going back. They have the soft site right now, but they don't have control of it yet.
So many cages coming through. They made it inside for a bit, but once again, NRG playing behind Marv's wall that he placed up. Cage then up, trying to do more delay snakebite just to give him that forward position on the top. Now it goes down. 2 kills there onto MWZ and Noswer. Khalil was too late for the trade. Crashes in long range right into the cubby in the chest of Khalil, leaving only Havoc alone, flanked behind by the Blade Storm of Demon 1. And that's now 2 unanswered round for NRG.
And we can see how NRG's using this Viper wall that splits the site in half with the way they can deny and then replay through it. It's going to take Furia all that space to get into site. Yeah, they can have it, but how happy are they not knowing what's on the other side, knowing if NRG can pop flash through with this Yoru, boom, and find blind people every time. And we saw at the edge of the ladder there, the left side of entering site from the attackers, when that wall went down, you saw the Cypher cage come out of Victor. So even more delay with another Molly follow-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Instant delay. And Furia just had no ground, even though the front half of the site is technically theirs. With that wall, it just doesn't feel safe.
Yeah. One of the few changes that we've seen here on Breeze, adding those boxes on that left side of ladder really give a chance here. More obstacles now for the defenders to hold a semi-aggro position here at that spot to not get flooded too much by utility and players when you're ending towards that side. So beautiful adaptation on how you're running on that wall for NRG to continue to play that delay. And that timeout's going to be very important here for Furia. How do you answer that? Working towards the left side doesn't really work out. Can you pivot back towards the right? Because you're playing behind a Viper wall here on the defense, it technically kind of leaves here Berlin and Tunnel a little bit open for a mid to be split. But Furia on this round, it's more pressure on middle to start things off and potential finish towards the A site, as they really want to battle and isolate Demon 1 at the beginning of these rounds. That was 2 rounds in a row that he peeked out towards A main. He's currently playing towards that palm tree, right on the right side of crap. Dash forward, Blade Storm for Havoc. Corner is not checked. Easy TP away. And Demon 1 could just ADS and look down in that area.
What is this? The one round they're not peeking? And Havoc tries to attack, tries to get that push towards A.
That's that push mid. So the pinch actually works out here for Furia because of Ethan's TP. That was less players for NRG inside the site. Now it's open. Trying to find a timing. Ethan's trying to walk back in. NWZ in a forward position. You're a mirror match, but it's stolen by Marv. Victor then also onto Khalil. Conan and Noswer alone now inside this A side. Dimensional Drift getting the information of where the players are at. No sprays to follow behind at least, but that spike is still down. Now the hat's getting thrown. They get info. The lurk once again from Marv. Furia should be annoyed by the amount of lurks they're facing out against in NRG's defense.
They are, and I think Furia went away from their lurks that were working. We remember how much Halls control they had. How many kills came from Halls this time that Furia wasn't ready for? That's been the position that we've usually seen Havoc in. And yeah, door opens. The field day from that position, and they have control over it. And this was around Furia started off trying to hit the precedent, that conditioning that NRG had been peeking A. They say, all right, you have blades, we'll back you up, flash over, and we'll try to take out Demon 1 as he peeks right away. But what do? They play back inside, and Ethan is there to actually accept the rush in. And look, now as we go onto the mini-map, NRG is set up for the play that Furia was just expecting. And they do again.
Again, how to isolate Demon 1's aggression. Snakebite to start things off and to spray it through. And even Ethan, low on HP, but Mars trying to make a play. Once again, running outside of his pit and somehow gets the pick onto Havoc to even up the situation. 4-on-4. And Furia have to figure out what side of the map they want to work towards to, and it seems to be towards this B side. I mean, I could see it. They have a dimensional drift to work with against that.
Usually your Viper's doing that alone, right? Not too many people going to be around so they can choose the soft site, yes, but Marv could be Iceman right here. That first trip could be a kill, a backup, and then Ethan's there to help that support as they chase for Marv in the pit. They could really cause some chaos. They're pretty committed here at 45 seconds too, as they're checking flank just for a moment. Unless they're going all the way back.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are. They're gonna leave it and see if they can rotate around.
Yeah. So the Aldron go for a drift. But the thing is, they haven't gained too much position here. They forfeited the A side early.
30
so if they make
left.
any noise, this is all going to get hurt by Victor, who's walking down towards the halls.
It's done. Crafty saw it.
Jig is up outside the vents. Sussed out is Khalil. And that spiked down 17 seconds. Last two players. A little bit of...
Maybe a pipes plant?
I mean, there's some
10
hope.
seconds left.
Wall comes down. Marv aims in.
Player standing.
Now doable. Plant is about to come down.
All right.
Ethan on a 1 versus 2. We mentioned how he was playing Valorant
Planted.
on easy mode on the previous map. Now the IGL has to try to clutch a 1 versus 2. First contact in, easy one there for NW0.
Wow.
Did not expect him out in the open. And Furia finally get a round since the timeout.
Yeah, they kick back there. I was starting to wonder because the first half, when these teams faced off in kickoff, was an 8-4. Furia only got 4, and then NRG started to come back. They bucked that trend, though. Furia get the 5th one this time, and a good read on that by both teams, right? The macro from Furia was great. Crashies for a moment reads it, but there's still enough power in that rotation back around to get the spike where it needs to be. And MW0 and Niles were able to bring in that W.
Yeah.
More halls control here from NRG as it's a B hit, Van Silly.
There's a trip there, updrafted, and somehow Victor was spraying through all of that and gets 2 kills. Hits the decoy, forced to fall back, but there's still Marv to help out. Havoc was there with the flick, but Demon 1 inside the arches. Up kill onto Havoc. Disadvantage, our Furia. Down by 2 players. Pin now really inside this B site. Aldron trying to find at least 1. No pings, but then Conan swings out, denied, punished by Victor. And actually, we did get the ping out there. Nazor was spot at the ladder. Easy one there for Crashies.
Victor, basically a solo hold on the site, making Furia think twice as soon as they went for that aggression. And that is kind of deflating. Furia go for their first, just crash into B strat, and Victor's able to take down 2 immediately. A 3rd one with a hat trick. Oh my gosh.
With a Vandal.
With a Vandal too. Yeah, Vandal with a Phantom cosplay. All right. Here we are.
Keep up.
A little bit of a push again from NRG. They get the aggression of their duelist towards the front side of A main.
Yeah. And we'll do it a 4th time, right?
Back to the fast.
Yeah. Nice entry there by Havoc. Ethan trying to answer quickly. A flash through the wall. The TP was actually committed. NW0 loses that fight to Ethan. Now as the wall comes down, Havoc is down to 57 HP. Teammates trying to move up and help him out. And now you force out the Hunter's Fury. Does connect and get the pick onto Ethan. Then the hat on the attack. Picking more players now. Aldron. Also pushing some players back, but then Nosworth's moving forward. I mean, they get the plant finally. Now it comes down to the hero plays of NRG. 2 players left alive. It's a 2 versus 2. Counter hat now being thrown on the defense. And that's one that's spotted here. Havoc in the front. 23 HP still survives. Planet for him. No orb here. So Marv and Victor had to pick together. Woo! And that was a close lineup, but in the end, it's an NRG victory to tie up the game 5-5.
Death from halls again. Even after all that. Death. That frag coming in on Nazar was almost another Vandal pickup from a very nice Sheriff shot, but it's covered. No weapon pickups there, and the retake coming in for NRG does, as you say, make it a 5-5. And trying to catch Demon 1 off guard. The site's open, but it just seems like there's too many fights being taken here towards the end when you could be waiting on these off angles or crossfires. Back into sight. NRG gaining space from afar with these frags here. Demon 1 on the operators. We're going to come out of this replay, and they are going to put that on top of wall at B.
Yeah, no more attempt to push towards the A main. 2 or 3 times Demon 1's been doing it here. At least 3 out of the last 4 rounds. So that'll post him up towards the B site, anticipating
this is
a Furia hit towards B. Crashies fell towards the nest, and there's that trade-off. Again, not expecting, allowing to capitalize on that kill. Unusual position there from Demon One.
Yeah.
Or at least from a Jet op in general. Now Furia regrouping with Khalil. Avoiding the op on the B side, but slowly but surely, Demon One is also slowly rotating towards A.
Towards the mid again. This time it's the 3 towards mid. We've only seen this off the rotation after they hit B. If they lose Nazor here, don't get enough of his util, they might not be able to make the side hit work. A very hidden Ethan could stay quiet here and dismantle everything.
Yeah. Same thing for Marv. There's that flash and the peek, the TP across. Demon One trying to find a tight angle, a tight shot. Contact in front of the pyramids. But it's NRG that scores first. Finally, it's answered back, leaving Victor alone. Nazor looking for a plant. Might have hurt the drop. Khalil's waiting for it just around the corner here at Orange. Tap on the spike. Easy kill by Nazor. A lead back for Furia as it's 6-5 for them.
Great little timing across the map. They go towards elbow with the stronger squad, realize that they've been found out. There's an operator at A, so they want to kind of work around the map to make sure they don't get that operator. Well, if you can close that gap and come through mid, it helps because you have a lot of people that can first trade the op and then A main control on the other side. Yep, not expecting them that close off of the mid door. Just trying to break the timing of NRG, and Furia's doing a great job of it. Operator now in the hands of MW Zera on the Yoru. Oh my.
Giving Demon One the Vandal, then activates the Blade Storm off that pick. Trying to find more kills. Dash has been activated. Information on 2 players and a reposition from Marv. Walking across the other end, trying to find his own timing, and he also gets punished. That's information on 2 players there, because that's Conan and Nazor getting picks. A TP across to help out, and there's a dimensional drift to open up the B site. They spot Victor, Cage comes up. Nazor gets picked, Hunter's Fury. Coming out now on the defense from Crashies. That's all he has with the Sheriff, and it's good enough for a pick. NW0 also falls. And the lurk coming in from elbow. Gets denied. Good luck here to Nazor.
He's running.
1 plant, 1 pick will get it to Hunter's Fury. But there's already that rotate from Ethan up at the staircase. 40 seconds left to work with. He could take his time for a bit here as Nazor.
Crashies just came, okay, he didn't grab a weapon or didn't have time to. He wants to be here to support.
Got info, and there's that staircase. Now Nazor could isolate both of them, but Ethan will close it out. We end the half 6-6, a clean slate moving into the second one.
Great attack side movement here by Furia. Good reads on NRG's side too. Victor with a few rounds at B, able to lock that down and close a few good ones up. And then Demon One doing Demon One things on these rounds too, to make sure that the extremities were held when he had the power weapons, that operator and a few others of his ultimate.
Well, at least we got some life coming up from Furia in this first half in GB. Can they close it out? Can we see a third map?
Yeah, I mean, we're curious to see if Furia have it in them to carry it forward into that second half. But one thing is for certain is that we're seeing, you know, some pretty good output here from MW Zera and just honestly from Furia as a whole, Doug, which is a far cry from what we were seeing in that first map.
Yeah, I honestly thought they looked infinitely better, and I guess that's easier to say given what the score looks like right now, but the truth is I think they had a couple of really good ideas on how they could use their Yoru ults, and Havoc is playing well too. I think some of those pieces are coming together as needed, but when MW is doing what he's doing on the Yoru, I think it's easy to understand how this is much more of a competitive map.
Yeah, I think Breeze is a far more viable map for Yoru, and you can really see the impact that he can have with it, as well as the team doing like a really good job of denying Demon One that A main line.
Yeah, it was big.
Molly shocks, the dash up with the flash.
Yeah.
Just really not letting him have that line.
Yeah.
It seems like in a lot of these moments in the early rounds, NRG are just trying to win already, and it's costing them some rounds. I'm surprised they didn't lose the last one just before we went to half, where Demon One pushes at the beginning, goes down, Marv just re-peaks it, even like goes down, and they already had an advantage. They'd gotten the first kill. I think if they just kind of pause for a second, go back to playing their own game, playing smart, they should be able to close this one out.
Yeah, I do feel like that could be a thing that potentially stings them in the second half if they keep doing that, Shazam, because honestly, like, there is a potential here where Furia can continue to punish if you start to see that kind of aggression coming out of NRG.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like what I was saying was like they're forcing the issue. You know, you have min advantage. You could kind of reset and just play like the rotates. You've still got the Yoru TP to stock each site. But I still have faith in their attack side. I feel like that they understand what their comp's capable of as well, and they'll probably deliver here.
Well, we'll see how this plays out in the second half. We're going to send it back over to your casters, Vansili and Rivington.
Thank you, gentlemen. I just loved here just before we toss it to GB. When I asked, can we take this to a third map, somebody just belted out here in the Riot Games Arena. No! They just want the 2-0 clean victory here for NRG.
Let's go!
As we do have favorites now in the crowd, of course, here in LA. Pistol round now starting with NRG on the attack. We want to try to find any type of formulation on this attack, and it sprays through the cages. 2 instantly fall. Furia really wants to fight towards his middle. They take control of it, but they lose the A site in the process. Victor watching that rotate, and almost caught their Havoc. Does get a tap on the chest, forces a dash, and gets information on 3 players now rotating over from mid.
What a sick way to defend on that one with the push-up from Havoc. Now we go into sight. Marv a bit pushed. They can't really crossfire this. It's gonna have to be the headshots.
Toxin screen down.
Marv has to come up huge. Oh, the save there from Conan, who also gets that second kill off the Crashies. Another pistol round under the belt of Furia.
Really, really neat one too. If you look at the mini-map, the 2 standing up top here, able to fire down on whatever Havoc was fighting mid as he peels back. It's such a cool way to have a high-low trade, basically across the map, that nobody's gonna expect. Victor runs right into those other 2 members that are ready for the peak. And this retake, so clean. Furia won both pistols last time these guys played in Kickoff, and they do it again. But can they get the victory here? That's the question. Can they bring that to a third? We already know what you think. Round 14 here. It's going to be the Outlaw coming out. A few Guardians and Bulldogs. Keep those fights long range as Furia look to stack the A site and prevent it from being taken. Good gate crash to the other side, too, if they have to play reactive on any rush.
Yeah. Loved how Crashes just booked it up towards the shop to grab the orb. 2 players staying behind. That was Demon 1 with the Sheriff and Ethan with support. So they could try to punish a push out. And after grabbing that orb, it might move over here towards the B side orb control. It was pinged out early now by Furia. Yeah, that means they've gained some control here towards shop on the defense, so they have information. They know that there's a heavy lean towards the B site now. With the orb that comes up from a recon dart, easy trade-off. Another orb now under for Crashies. Demon 1 trying to fight a long range against NW0. He loses that fight.
Waiting patiently. They got actually one of those. Nicely done as they make the way into the site. The plant is in. And yeah, this is gonna be a powerful retake from Furia.
Enemy down.
They could delay long enough right now, though, for NRG. It seems like we might be playing lineups for Marv. So trying to disrupt, trying to make some moves. Victor just got spotted by Havoc. And it's up to Crashies to hold the side in the back. Snake bite to push him out. It's gonna be difficult now. Poison orb up. There is 1 snake bite, but it was just a tap. Now 5 players moving forward.
Yeah.
Poison's off.
Right click there onto MW0. There's that first kill, though, in long range. Can you get it done against 3 other guys? Hell no, you're not. No. Second round there for Furia. Converting again. Another pistol.
Yeah, they come in with the weapons, only losing MW. But actually one of the harder maps to get a Viper post plan on, because how far you actually have to get back for what would be a safe position, which is still open to lurk. So you really need to have map control. And then if you've lost your team, everyone knows where you is. But still, an option that they have as they get to the post plant. It's just too many weapons advantage as they came back into sight. So we get that bonus, we get weapons now for NRG. Can they start to turn it around here? Still looking for outlaw shots. Expect Furia to be playing back a little bit further here to get those to count.
You can definitely see it. Those rifles, Guardians, and an outlaw taking mid control. As Havoc was trying to get a position up there, I think there was miscomms. Nobody was watching that elbow. So he gets punished here by the Victor push up on elbow.
Really cool A-wall on the right side, focusing double pass if they want to get through that. So you're really giving them a lot to think about if they want to take the site. They're going to have to hit that util or wait for the gas to go down. Demon 1 in the hall starts us off.
Yeah, all individual pushes to start things off, giving NRG a 2-player advantage with a minute left on the clock. And yeah, an A site's open. Furia's already falling back for a bit, just trying to fight back and contest Demon 1 in the halls, who dashes away to safety. Plant will come down still. Objective is crashes with these plants. Potential for a Hunter's Fury in the next round.
Yeah.
When Furia will get their gun round.
Victor's on a vacation right now. The team doesn't really need him, but he has all this space to just detect and let them know. Probably about to see the rest of Furia in sight at this point. Little hide from Ethan here. Ooh.
Yeah, it's Demon 1 to spot first on the contact. And yeah, I don't need a flash yet. I'll just ADS and get all these kills. No need to flash me, Ethan. I'm all good. NRG with flawless.
Yeah. Just as clean. Furia, and it's the rounds they should be winning, right? Furia's getting the one they should have gotten when it's second to NRG's pistols and low buys. NRG taking out the bonus here, but not suffering anything, which is the boon. They really have a lot of econ to work with here, and especially in the map when you want to be firing long range, if you're going to be putting your opponents down onto that low armor, you're happy to take some of these fights. This bumps around. We start off round 16. NRG close to being able to get even or even the lead on these next few rounds. And right at the front door, Furia's ready to fight.
They're really trying to deny that orb, but a beautiful snake bite was placed down on the attack here by Marv. Breaking that timing for Furia's aggression. The attempt to deny that from Crashies. Now they have a Hunter's Fury to work with.
Exactly. That's everything they need for this B plant.
There's a decoy out first here on the attack. Trying to find any trips towards the site. It's open. Ethan the one TPing in and going for a full plant. It's going to be a 5 versus 5. Double trips watching that flank. But it's Havoc that could updraft over it if he wants to. Chooses to go the long way around, as you can see on the minimap. But meanwhile, in front of your screen, Demon 1 gets the headshot onto Conan. Dueling down the numbers here on the attempt of a retake. There's that trip broken, that flank attempt coming out from Havoc. A flash through the Viper wall from NW0, blinds a few, gets that backstab from Havoc, but it's a trade-off. Allowing the hat to come out and the numbers to come back in favor of NRG. Only Noswer and Havoc, I mean, not too much time left. Noswer kind of committed inside that site. Both of them kind of committed inside that site. Now with that tap, there's that peek, and there's a secured victory for NRG. Tying up the game now 8-8.
Very clean. And that retake was really fun. I love the fact that Demon 1 becomes buddies with Ethan's clone as the clone reaches that left spot of B site. That's when Demon 1 dashes in, but Ethan's already taking a gate crash towards B pillar. So you have technically 3 people entering site, 2 that can actually do something. But yeah, it really sends them for a loop. And just a nice way to get into the site. Furia wondering how they're getting dismantled here so slowly on these hits, back down to a low buy. And NRG back to A. And NRG started at A last round, right? Going over, getting a bit of the util out, and finding that quite a few members of Furia were actually packed into that entrance to A spot near main. So a good mid-round call, B hit to end it. And now they work the map a little bit more. One of the first 2-2-1s we're really seeing here, where the spike's going to start mid for this match.
Yeah. They'll know that there's somebody towards the yellow here, I'm pretty sure. Actually, the camera is watching towards A main, so they'll do the due diligence to try to clear. But Ethan was walking up alone, dash forward to try to pick up the gun. Victor stops him.
That's why you play 2 together. Victor stops that indeed. That would have been a big pickup. Still a few weapons here that would have made that huge for Havoc. They got to watch for the Marshal on one site, but they're all sticking together. Demon 1 gets 2 more on the lurk mid.
That was a contact surprise play. Demon 1 so far this series doesn't seem like he's ever going to get surprised by anybody in his, by Furia.
No.
Simple execution now towards the A site. Recon dart wall up. Realizing at least towards that backside of A site is clear. A main, still the unknown for NRG. But for Furia, they're both playing towards the spawn, now finally both spotted. Marshall gets a pick, but NRG take the lead.
They take the lead. They're suffering quite a different first half there for both. It came to an eventual 6-6 here. NRG finally get that gusto in place. They're going to have 3 big ults online here. Hunter's Fury, the Blade Storm, and the Dimensional Drift. So you imagine just dimensional drifting into a bunch of people with that Hunter's Fury behind you. An option that they have, and they don't even have to use it. That's just how good they're feeling right now with this momentum. Furia, you're going to start with this timeout here on round 18. Havoc's going to have the op. This is where it needs to come into play. If NRG are going to be playing these rounds where they're presenting themselves somewhere right away for a util or for a peak, that's where the op is really helpful. Teams playing fast, you shut them down on a quick swing, get out of there. Move around the map, do it again, change your position each time. Easy as Havoc on Jet here, but NRG's kind of been walking up and only looking for the util to come out. They're not showing themselves until they're ready to commit. So how does Havoc get this op online?
Yeah. Well, so far, NRG pretty much have A side orb for free every single round. But when you're trying to fight it for Furia, there's still util. The mollies from the snake bites from Marv keeps them at bay. And there's been 2 moments where you're trying to get elbow control, and there was 1 push up from Victor that actually took down the Havoc, and that 1 round where Havoc moved down to get the pick onto Ethan. So there's weaknesses now to try to punish that area.
Yep.
So I thought they might be wanting to go to fight mid to start, just to give up that A sign. But instead, they'll just post up a passive op inside the A side. I mean, there's potential late support here and a late push out towards A main if they don't hear any noise.
Right here.
The wall's up to deny A, but like you said, they've never been denied this position.
Who's next?
And they don't get denied. We saw a bunch of pings in sight. There was going to be the route here for Ethan. Flash on the operator, forcing them to get out. Oh my gosh.
Hunter's Fury now on the attack as well. I don't think they put into account the drift available there by Ethan.
I'm not gonna lie, this feels a little awkward with the positioning of NRG right now and how everything's sorted out without any of those kills coming through except for MW Zera.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the gas, waiting for a little patience, and here we go. NRG's able to file out.
Quick, easy reset there, waiting for the wall to come back up. Plant now comes down for a main, for sprays, for lineups. Late lurk still coming out from Victor from the elbow. But Furia's upping the tempo on the retake. Demon 1 once again winning individual duels continuously. Finally traded out by Noswer. Alan Drone coming out in the attack, getting information on 2 players. There are the lineups cut out from Marv, and that's enough delay for Victor to start coming outside the bridge. Backstab now initiated. ADS on the ping. There's that first, the swing on the second. And that is going to be Conan. Hoping to be able to save his weapon. You can definitely see on this radar, they are trying to find him.
Yeah, hunting around. NRG, if they have it, they seem to have, or if they have the ults, they have the utility, and they seem to have the advantage, it's working. Sometimes you see this disrupted by amazing headshots, but they're coming from NRG along with the strategies.
I can't believe he's peeking an op like that and still wins the fight.
To get that, and we said that op needed to come online at some point. At that, they play it close, knowing the dimensional drift could be a problem, but still, Furia does have to take chances here to figure out how to shut down NRG. It's just none of the chances are going their way. NRG has the answers, looking for an insta-kill there as they go for a little bit of decay as well as a shock dart. Not a bit of damage for Chip.
Yeah, low by Blaze Storm. Havoc was trying to find a timing.
Yeah.
Almost got the contact. Has a couple of daggers left. The NRG's looking to move back towards the B site. Now spawning a Marshall in the hands of Khalil in the back of the B site. That's all they have in terms of defense for Furia to start. NRG seems to be committed now for a hit.
Yep. Dash in, that same Yoru Jet combo. And they're going to be easy resting. Wow. Victor's smoke shots right now.
Very good. They're good. Counter Alan out. Trying to get that ping there. It works out onto Khalil. Ethan will capitalize on that assist from the Alan Drone of Crashies. Conan with that safe rifle from that previous round will save it again as MW0 is looking to at least gain some confidence. An opportunity to win a 1v1. Crashies getting the timing. MW0 still wins it though. That's a great start. Now head-to-head against Ethan. The pre-fired shots, now spotting Victor, and then on to Ethan. I mean, no time.
Too bad you can't defuse in dimensional drift, huh? Where am I? That's 11 now for NRG. And just kind of at the end, when they get lax, do you see those kills coming through? And MW Zera is able to say, no, you can't take a second to blink or breathe when I'm around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victor is just so good. The out of smoke hits, the through smoke hits. Why not? And clean up there.
And it comes to show that when you're actually put in these situations, NW0 could actually still pop off. They just need to figure out ways how they could set up NW0, how they could set up Havoc at this point. That's been the question coming through as well when Nosware was IGLing joined this roster too. How can you actually activate your duelists here? But NRG are doing such a great job, once again, on their attack, really working around that map. Look at the amount of noise that they're making.
Yeah.
There was a ping from the Al drone, a TP back, and an early, looked like it was going to be a rotate back, but you leave mid open. That's because you also have Havoc just watching that line here on the top of the back wall, down towards elbow. So they have passive information on NRG's. If they want to, if NRG's trying to work towards mid, rather, it's going to get spotted.
This looks really similar to the flow of the round as Furia was faced with an ult at B. They went up towards elbow, but back down through mid to double doors. I wonder if they're actually going to try to get in B and just leave Conan in a weird spot as they plant back towards spawn.
You're going to have to look at the amount of duels here between Demon 1 and Havoc, but a lot of them seem to come in favor here of the attack side of NRG to start. Dimensional drift from NW0. Getting info on mid.
Yeah.
NRG's falling behind it. And there's trap setups here from the Cypher, also towards the A site. Hat now being thrown out.
And they go.
And we go back. And as they go back, though, Furia was ready for it because of the hat that came out here on the defense. Ethan, though, opens it up. And he's going to get a plant down. A 2 versus 2.
Good retake util here.
Marvin's looking to reflank.
Are they setting up for the... Yeah.
1v1 coming up here on the elbow. MW0 is knifing around. Bringing a knife to a gunfight. Advantage back for NRG. Nosware, both shark darts used. He's gonna come 1-1 against Ethan. Walking slowly forward. Ethan's trying to find that timing. He'll hear the drop. Will not hear the drop, the footstep, the jump kill. When nothing works here for Furia, just nothing works.
It is, though. It is. I mean, that just goes you to show how Ethan's playing in the situation, never shying away from what's going to be the best in that situation, right? 90% of people might have just kind of swung that, but the jump, throwing off the crosshair, always getting the maximum type of peek in. Yeah, it's just how, why, like you said, they can't do wrong at this point. NRG bring it 12-8 now. Game point. And that was a 4 ultimate round from Furia that they could not secure. Back towards A for NRG.
This time Ethan's using the dimensional drift again towards the A site. Getting information on Havoc. Conan gets a spray onto Marv at least. Aljon to try to get more updraft towards the air. Blade Storm being shut out. Demon 1 cannot get any contact this time around. An opportunity for Furia to have a stronger defensive hold, but there's that lurk from Victor down towards mid doors. A 4 versus 4. Now NRG. Or triple walking down towards the halls. A peek coming out from Havoc, denied by Crashies.
The halls control has just been the superior position for the match. And again, NRG take a huge amount of map control from this spot. The lurk from Victor, the final touches.
Gets spotted, but the hat Elise is there to get the information on both. Easy one to open the door. And for Ethan and Demon 1 to get inside A site and go for a plant. Potentially even a plant from middle because you have Victor still in that area. Picking up his camera, moving back towards main. Up to Nosware and Khalil. They have a recon dart to work with at least to start on that retake. It's being shot out. Not spotting anybody towards bricks. Door gets opened up. Ethan, when he's got to step up to the plate, he does here as the IGL for NRG. Up to Khalil alone. All of the players of NRG holding towards the A main. And you could just, probably just can't avoid the unavoidable. And that's Demon 1 in the front, easy kill. And that's up being an easy 2-0 for NRG in the end over Furia.
The split match showed dominance from NRG. The reads that they had, the way that they played. We get to Breeze. The firefight becomes more of a factor. Furia starts to gain that ground. Like we said, this was a 13-10 when they played in Kickoff. Different comps for NRG. So still very close here on the read of where to be fighting. But once that round got into play, once the positions were crept into by NRG, they were able to macro that much better, figured out what the moves for Furia were, and playing up front instead of reactive really gives NRG the win there.
Yeah. And still not bad, though, for Haver. We're trying to figure out here his first kills. He's actually a 5-0. And Demon 1 that looked really good here. And Crispy on those shots was at 6 for first kills, rather. Yeah. So at least at this point, it's how can you actually win against Demon 1? That's that big head-to-head. And when you're playing against Demon 1 as a Jet, I mean, what can you really do, man? This guy's something else. I can't wait to see a Demon 1 against Aspas.
It was a race between him and Victor. I mean, Victor on the site holds was doing crazy. 24 and 14 for Victor with 2 assists on that. 3 first bloods as the anchoring Cypher. So a lot of those being the ones where Furia were forced to convert in the 4v5, and we're just not finding the wins after that.
Great call, too, because as you're talking about how good he is on the anchors, it's in these moments, too, where on Breeze, the responsibility comes down to him on these work plays where you wanted to see some more vintage Mark, but you didn't need that when Victor could also assume that responsibility so that Mark can actually play those pulse plant mollies, the walls up, the support here for the trades. Again, from A to Z, when you need to broaden up the map pool with, of course, having Demon 1 playing a better Raze these days, but at the same time also changing roles within the compositions. Yeah. It works out quite well. Demon 1 and the rest here of NRG look so complete,
right?
Going into stage 1.
Ethan back on the Yoru. Yeah. I mean, they've even been on different maps for them in the past. So, you know, Ethan feels very comfortable on that to be able to bring into the mix, and they get to just give teams a different look.
Yeah, yeah. What can you take here, at least from Furia? I know it was a slow start here. I mean, you lost 13 rounds in a row on split.
I feel like Furia's macro reads when they here on Breeze were really good. The way they started to separate the map back and forth. Their first reads for the Hall control with a little bit of Hall pass with Yoru and Havoc being control there. It's almost like they let go of that win condition. They then weren't using the walls to prevent any of the A main control when they were throwing up walls. Yeah. It seemed like they weren't confident with what was going to work, so they played back and then were punished for it.
You also can't forget as well here, when you're looking on the side of Furia, they actually had, you know, a different rule change, Havoc having to go back to the duelist, so they need some time. True. I know it's still stage 1, there's already 2 weeks going through, but it's a tough one to try to adapt, right? But unfortunately, it's still the victory for NRG, and we're ready to go down to the stage with Geek Heavy for the Horizon post-match interview.
Joining me right now, we have Crashies of NRG. Congratulations on the win. Unbelievable, but it is kind of believable. Now, we all, you know, we've seen you all do something very similar during kickoffs. It was 2-0. So I got to ask you, like, was this outcome even a surprise for you?
To be honest, not really. We've been putting in a lot of work, working on ourselves really hard. We took the Madrid loss from Sentinels in like extremely hard, and I'm just proud that, you know, we're showing that our work is just working.
Honestly, it really is. It really is working. Now, you know, looking at map 1, like you all pretty much dominated, and it seemed like Furia kind of like they woke up during map 2, and you all were going back and forth. But what was the moment? Which moment was it where you were just like, oh no, we're not taking this to map 3?
I think Ethan called a really good attack side half. We just felt like we were under control like the whole time. There wasn't really a moment where we just, you know, kind of knew. It was just we were playing every round perfectly. And, you know, I feel like as a team, we kind of have that unspoken confidence when we know when we're playing really well. And I feel like that just showed.
It really did. But honestly, I got to have you speak a little bit more about your confidence, because like the confidence levels clearly are up. And of course, you know, we're moving into Super Week. Super Week is coming up. You know, we got 2 teams, Leviathan and MIBR, y'all are going to be facing off against. Now, which one of these teams do you think will give you more of a run for your money?
Definitely Leviathan. I mean, they had an insane game yesterday beating Sentinels. I feel like everyone was watching that game and saw what Aspaz did. So we're going to definitely have to be super prepared for that game. And yeah, Super Week should be fun.
Yeah, now, of course, you know, you all are also like up there in the Alpha group with Crew. So how does that feel?
It feels good. You know, job's not done. We're looking to get the #1 seed for playoffs. yeah, we're just gonna keep working hard every single week.
All right, well, you know what? Congratulations yet again to Crashies and NRG, everybody. Yes. Now, we're going to be sending things over to the post-show with Marv.
Thank you so much, Geek Heavy. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be joined here for the post-show with Marv. Marv, you guys look really freaking good, bro. I want to congratulate you on the win at first. And then I want to go ahead and jump right into that first map. Your comp was very different from what we saw last time, right? Like, why? What was the reasoning? What led to the change?
One of the factors definitely was getting 13-1 by Sen. I mean, they did
That'll do it.
They did destroy us, and we didn't find a lot of success on that comp, to be honest. But yeah, we have a great Raze player. I got you. We have a great Raze player. We have a great Jet player, and Ethan's Omen is surprisingly insane. So I think it kind of fit our playstyle. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is there a difference, you think, with the team compared to Kickoff to now that's allowing you to kind of go off more? Because it feels like these past 2 games were, at least for you individually, like you were finding more success, having better, like, big moments than in Kickoff.
I think it just had to do with time. I mean, just more time as a team. They kind of know what I like now, and I know how to communicate it to them, like what I like to do. So, I mean, it just needed time. And honestly, in Kickoff, I wasn't as confident as I am now, and I'm definitely a lot more confident now. So I guess it helped my playstyle.
What's it like playing under an IGL like Ethan? Does he give you a lot of freedom, or is there a lot of structure involved? How does it go?
I think Ethan is very good in communicating what he wants, and he definitely lets us do what we want as well. And if we have reads, we say it to him, and he's like, all right, bet. So it's very chill atmosphere. And yeah, it seems like we're on the same page now.
For sure.
I've heard Crashies mentioned it in the interview that we just saw. Chet mentioned it earlier today too, in between maps. The focus for you guys has been on working on yourselves. Really less concerned about what the other teams may be doing when it comes to preparation. It's just been focused on you guys figuring yourselves out. What would you say has been the biggest focus point as of late for this NRG squad?
I'd say practice is a lot more intense now, and you know, we were kind of slacking off a little bit on the kickoff. Yeah, we're a lot more intense now. But in terms of like game plan and preparation, I think we're a lot more focused on ourselves. So yeah, we just know we're really good. So there's no point in trying to play the other team's game, you know? So let's just play our own game.
Do you guys feel like you let Madrid go?
I mean, obviously, I think so. On Sunset against Sen, I feel like we should have closed it out, and I'm pretty sure my whole team feels that way. But it is what it is, right? They won the whole tournament, so congrats to them. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We're just going to have to try to grind for these next few.
For sure. Do you think that when you were talking about like, trying to find the confidence, do you feel like that kind of got knocked last year, kind of filling in for Sen a little bit, taking time off from playing at the top level? Is that why you kind of had to regain it a bit this year?
I'd say definitely, yeah, because before I came into form way back in like 2022 or whatever, I had a lot of time just figuring myself out, and I feel like just taking a break I kind of had to catch up a little bit and kind of refine myself. And I just realized that, if I just do what I usually do, I'm going to farm these kids, so it doesn't really matter. So I just kind of play my own game and, just keep focusing on improving every day.
I mean, you guys farmed. I mean, you farmed map 1, map 2 was a little bit closer, but you guys farmed. Speaking of farming, I've got to ask you this. Earlier today, we asked you a question about who would you be giving your sub to between Ethos and Sam, and I mean, they heard the answer, and they've got a response. Take a listen.
All right, so I got to ask you, who would you give a free sub to, Ethos or Sam?
I'll probably choose Sam. That's my guy. Ethos is good, but
nah, you're my gang. Come on, gang. Nah.
We're used to seeing that Fnatic were winning tournaments internationally, placing internationally,
Jimzo, match MVP, BO3, 75 kills.
Valorant, you are facing the other team.
Jimzo's the GOAT, gang.
I guess.
You made a fan. It's interesting that we didn't listen to what Ethos had to say there. I thought that was an interesting admission.
I don't think Ethos wants to say anything to me, I guess.
Yeah, that's tough.
But yeah, I respect that. I mean, Sam always says, if me and you were on a team together, it would be insane. So maybe one day that'll happen, but who knows?
I mean, you guys are pretty insane right now. I'm sure there are a lot of people who wondered, like, what that roster could have been like, right? If there was a different variation of NRG last year, what could have been? But that wasn't the case. Again, congratulations on the big win. With today wrapping up, let's take a look at the standings in the Alpha and Omega group, because things have shaken up a little bit. Things look very different. You've got NRG and Crew at the top of the leaderboard on Alpha, and then Omega, they're finally on the board. There are only 2 wins, but they were big, surprising wins. I think, Marv, as you have seen these last couple of weeks play out, is there anything that has surprised you?
I mean, obviously, I thought Sen would be 2-0. Cloud9 beating Leviathan is pretty surprising. They had a really good match. We watched it, and we had to wait so long for them to finish. So, but other than that, anything could happen in Valorant, so I'm not really surprised that much. I mean, anyone could be anyone.
There really is an any given Sunday type beat to it, and I kind of thought there may be some of that today, but that wasn't the case. I also want us to go ahead and take a look at the schedule for tomorrow. There's 1 day left in this weekend, and there is only 1 match. It's going to be Cloud9 up against Evil Geniuses. A very different approach to this match when you think about what last week looked like for both of these teams. Do you have any predictions?
A coin flip for me for sure. I'll flip my coin tomorrow morning and see who wins. But
yeah, ask you tomorrow.
I have no clue.
No, nothing. Nothing at all.
I mean, if EG bounces back, because they lost their last match.
Yeah.
They got
rolled by
that one, right? So hopefully they get back in the lab and they fix all their mistakes. And usually after a loss, I mean, what the teams I've came from, we kind of try to bounce back. So hopefully they can do that.
Well, brother, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you all at home for watching. For everyone who's behind the scenes putting this thing together, it takes a village. And we appreciate you all hanging out with us. We will see you guys tomorrow for more VCT Americas. Until next time, have a good night.
That lurk going to be activated into B main now. A lot of space being taken here for Crew.
And just the one player to watch him out. Viper.
One enemy remaining. Hey.
The side. To 1v1. Can Keswick close the game?
He knows there's jumping towards him. Tries to confuse it, maybe finds it. Somehow he finds it. RGL Meister into clutch.
Enemy remaining.
The other side, Heat gets it done.
Ramp, pushing around.
Yikes.
No charges left. One enemy remaining.